Will the state of Missouri execute a gravely ill man? David Hosier is scheduled to be put to death June 11th. That is 18 days from now. He was convicted back in 2013 of the first-degree murders of Angela and Rodney Gilpin. Prosecutors say he'd been having an affair with Angela while she was separated from Rodney. And when Angela went back to her husband, Hosier gunned them both down. But just this week, the condemned man was rushed to a hospital in heart failure. His brother says that he's in pain, that he can't walk, that he can barely talk. Nevertheless, last we checked, the state has not indicated there is any plan to halt the scheduled execution. Mere days before he actually fell ill, Hosier called a producer on this show for what will very likely be his final interview on Earth. They discussed his life behind bars, his thoughts about being put to death, and his continued claim that he's innocent. Here's some of that conversation.
You've been on death row for, I think, about 11 years. You know, how do you spend your days usually?
Well, like I said, Missouri is the only state in the union that death row inmates are out in general population. And we're only at one institution as far as the guys are concerned. I'm not sure if they have any ladies on death row or not, but they're not at Potosi where all the guys are. Each housing unit has recreation where we go outside to rec. We can go to the gymnasium and play basketball. We can go to the library. We can go to the learning center and use the computers.
What are your interactions with the other inmates, particularly the other death row inmates? What sort of things do you guys discuss?
We all get along. We're here with like I said, guys that are doing the life without, guys that are here for, 10 years for something, whatever their crime is. Well, of course, there's murderers, there's bank robbers, there's child molesters. It runs the gamut. Whatever you're in prison for, you can be be here.
I know you have like a spiritual advisor. Do you think of yourself as a religious person?
Well, I will put it to you this way. I was raised in a Christian family. My grandfather was a Christian minister. So I have been brought up in the Christian faith, and I do believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and salvation. I believe in God. I believe in reading the Bible.
And I know you've filed several appeals, and I've tried to follow your case as best as I can. And I was just wondering, do you still maintain that you're innocent of what you're in prison for?
Not only do I maintain it, I am innocent. I was not in Jefferson City. I was not in Cole County. I was in the state of Missouri at the time that Angela and Rodney Gilpin were killed. I'm no angel. But there are enough women out there, just like there are enough men, that are looking for friends with benefits, that you don't get upset just because one decides to go back to her husband or one decides to break it off with you. I don't want to sound crass, and I don't want, but it's one particular is not worth doing that over. I've been married and divorced 3 times. All 3 of my ex-wives are still alive.
Now, setting your own case aside, what do you think about the death penalty? Do you think that there are people who should die for their crimes?
Had you asked me 18 years ago or 15 years ago, I believed in the death penalty. But having seen what the prosecution has done in my case, and having talked to other inmates and seen the way the prosecution and prosecutors have violated constitutional and civil rights and the laws to get convictions, I can't say I actually do believe in it anymore.
If if you are executed on June 11th, have you thought to yourself of what last words or message you would want to leave before you die?
Well, I am hoping that if I can get out to the public the type of things that the prosecutor and the judge pulled in my case to convict me wrongfully of a crime, if the people see, would they be able to look at it and go, is this the way I would want to be treated? Is this the way I would want one of my loved ones treated? Is this how I would want to see my neighbor treated? Did we elect these people to do this? They're supposed to be upholding the laws. They're supposed to be defending our civil rights and our constitutional rights. Is this the way we want to go about that? And hopefully it will get some change. If I could save even though I'm dead, hopefully I won't die in vain if I can at least save one person from going through what I've gone through.
Well, listen, you should know that the prosecutor said they had overwhelming evidence against him. And just a couple of things without going through the whole list. They found a murder weapon in his vehicle, along with like a police baton and, let's see, a knife and latex gloves, etc. Again, the police said this was an overwhelming case. My great thanks to Chris Maloney, our producer who conducted that interview.